Hello and welcome. Let us solve this medium problem. This is basically stack related problem. Evaluate reverse Polish notation. Let me read the problem statement first. You are given an array of strings, basically tokens, that contains strings that represents an arithmetic expression in a reverse Polish notation. So what is a reverse Polish notation? Reverse Polish notation basically means that the operators will be after the operands. For example, this is a reverse Polish notation, or in other case you can say this like postfix notation. We basically use infix notation in basic mathematical expressions in different cases, but postfix notation is rarely used. So this is basically called postfix notation or reverse Polish notation. So if this is written in infix notation, this should be written like 3 plus then 4, right? Okay. Now evaluate the expression, return an integer that represents the value of the expression. Okay. So we'll be given like this type of set of strings, and then we have to return the result of after calculating the expressions. For example, if we take this one, and if we take these two example or this one example, okay. So how can we solve it? For any type of notation, we can use stack to actually hold the values. So let's say we have we have a stack, right? Now let's read the rest of the statement that we missed. The valid operators are plus, minus, star and division, right? Each operand must be integer or another expression. The division between two integers always truncates towards 0. There will not be any division by 0. The input represents a valid arithmetic expression in a reverse Polish notation. The answer and all the intermediate calculations can be represented in a 32-bit integer. Now let's think about it. We are given with 2 and 1, then after that we are given with an operator, right? We are given with 2 operand, then we are given with an operator. So what should be the calculation for this scenario? It should be like something 2 plus 1, right? 2 plus 1, so the result should be like 3 for this 3 string, right? And then from here we take 3, then we take another 3, then we can see another star. So that means 3 multiplied by 3 we should return as 9, right? The answer should be 9. Now how can we solve this scenario where at first we have to take 2 operand and then we have to calculate, then not just take 2 operand. Let's say in each scenario, if we see the operand, we do not do anything, right? When we see an operator, we must do the calculation, right? In every cases, right? We see operand, we do nothing. 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 When we see the operator, then we do the calculation of previous to operand, right? With the operator. This should be the case actually. This should be the way to solve this type of problem, right? Now how can we simulate this in coding scenario? Let's say we see 2, we push it into an empty stack. We see 1, we push it into an empty stack. When we see an operator, what we do, we take the previous 2 operand, right? So how can we do that? We pop the top of the stack, we pop again the top of the stack. What we get, we take the 2 value 1 2, and we take the operator also from here. We do the calculation, we get the value. When we get the value, we again push it into the stack, right? Push 3 into the stack. Okay, now after that, after we are done with this scenario, we see another 3. We see an operand, we push it back into the stack. Then we see an operator, we do the calculation of previous 2 operand. We see we get 3 from the top, we get another 3 from the top. We pop those 2 operand back, and we do calculation with the given operator. We get the answer as 9, and at the end of the iteration, we basically will be left with a single value in the stack, and then we return the top of the stack. That will be our answer, right? So let's take another example. Let's solve this scenario. This seems a complicated one. Let's make it a simple one, right? Okay, so first of all, we see 10, we see an operand, we push it into the stack. We see another operand, we push it. We see another operand, we push it. We see another operand, we push it, and then we see an operator, right? When you see an operator, what we do, we pop 2 times, right? So we pop 3 from here, we pop 9 from here. Okay, and then we do a calculation in between these 2 value. We get 12, we push it back into the stack. Okay, we see another operand, we push it back into the stack. We see an operator. When you see an operator, we pop the last 2 values from the stack, that is 12 and minus 11. We do the calculation from the given operand. We should get like how much? Should get 12 into 11. We should get minus 132. We push it back into the stack, right? And then we see another operator. We have to do another calculation, that is minus 132 and 6. We pop these 2 back. So 6 minus 132, and we have to do division, right? So 6 divided by 132 should be something like 0, right? 6 divided by 132 is 0. So 0, we get 0, we push it back into the stack. Now we see another operator. We get the last 2 value, that is 10 and 0. We do the calculation with the given operator. We should get back something like 0. We push it back into the stack. We get operand, we add it back into the stack. We get an operator. We pop back the last 2 value, that is 0 and 7. We add these 2 value, we get 17. We should push it back into the stack. then we get 5 an operand, we push it back, then we get an operator, we pop 5 and 17, and then we do the calculation. That should be 22, right? So our final result will be 22. We push it back into the stack, and then we pop back the last value. So the result should be 22, right? Yes. Now how can we solve this problem? Now let's code it up, right? So first of all, we need a stack, right? We need a stack that should hold the string, the result, right? Now we also need to store the top of the values, right? Top of the stacks, right? That should be first operand 1, second operand 2, and the operation of those two values, the result of operation, right? Okay. Now when should we calculate? When we get operator, right? So if let's iterate through the values of the tokens, right? So when you get value as any kind of operator, right? Value as any kind of operator, it should be minus, and then should be star, and value should be okay. Now for this type of scenarios, what you do, we pop the last, we pop the top of the stack basically. So we should store the values. Operand 2 as, I'm writing operand 2 as the first top of the stack, right? Because if we serialize the strings, we should get operand 2 as the first and operand 1 as the second top of the stack, right? So operand 2 as our given stack as dot top, then we pop from the stack, and we get the second top from the stack, we pop from the stack. Okay, now we have to do the calculations, right? So if our value is represented as plus, then what you do, we get the result of operation as how we should do. Now here's a catch of it. Our result of operation cannot be string basically, right? It should be of integer. So when you get value as plus, we do what? As string to integer, we get operand 1, then plus string to integer, we do operand 2, right? Then we copy this one, we implement same case for rest of the things. Just hold on a second, I have to open the doors. If we get value as So all of our cases are handled here. Now we are given with the result as integer, right? Now we have to push it back to the stack. So dot push, before pushing we have to convert it to string, right? To string as of operation. Now if we are not given with any operator, then what we do, we just push the operands into the stack, right? So yeah, after all of this calculation, we should be now we have to return as integer, right? So we have to convert the top of the stack as integer. Dot okay. Now if we run this code, also for this scenario the time complexity is big of, and we have to iterate through the tokens here. If we submit, we get accepted. It's 90.99%. Nice.